Hello, my friends. Yeah, today I'm in the capital town, Charlestown, and I'm gonna go on a radio station on the island called 2020 Vision Radio. So I'm just walking towards it now. I have a well anticipated interview with T, Liber, the T Experience, and so I'm gonna go on anytime now, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit of the Charlestown. As you can see, that's TDC, and you can see it's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see how it looks at 6 o'clock in the afternoon here, and that's the Bank of Nevis there, and famous Evelyn's drugstore. Yeah. And you can see everybody is heading home now from work, and here we are now. This TDC right here is closed already. Here we are, 2020 Vision Radio. You could have your radio shows here, and you could advertise as well with the station. And my way up now. Yeah. And so this building, it's a lot of rented spaces in this building, and radio station is all the way to the end. You're gonna see here now. See, 2020 Vision Radio is here. So I'm gonna ring the buzzer now. Hopefully I'll get in shortly. Yeah, so it was a wonderful day today. It was a little bit too hot for me today, but I had a great day today. Did some hard work, but you know, I have to work hard to make a living. Yeah, so I'm just waiting to get inside. Hopefully somebody's here. Hope he didn't cancel again. But if somebody was here, I think they would open anytime now. So let's just wait and see. I'll probably give him a call to find out if he's inside. Yeah, I just called T. He said just to open the door. So we're gonna try and open and see. Yeah, I'm finally in the studio now, and I'm just getting ready to go on air. And as you can see, this is a great T library right there. The this is a T experience here, and definitely great show on 2020 Vision Radio every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Right on 2020 Vision Radio. So if you haven't tuned in, make sure you tune in, and every Thursday and you get some inspiring talk shows and interviews.
Radio, coming to you from Queen City, Nevis. Tune to the T3s each and every Thursday between the hours of 6 and 7:30 p.m. And I have with me my special guest, Mr. Bjorn Hanley. Hello, Bjorn.
How are we doing, T?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
We finally get to meet.
Yeah, definitely. I remember we met somewhere unofficial.
Yeah?
Months ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Where was that?
You know, in Gingerland.
Okay.
Going down the famous sugar mill.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you've got good memory, ain't you?
Yeah. I think the people who was there, I think they moved back to England.
Really?
Yeah.
So the sugar mill in Gingerland.
Oh. Yeah.
Liz and Rob.
Yeah.
They're coming back in December.
That would be good.
Yeah. So I don't know how long they're coming back for, but I got a text from them the other day saying she's coming. It's obviously coming for Christmas. And
that's a good time to come.
Yeah. So I'll give you a shout. I'll let you know when they're around. Yeah?
Sounds good, man.
So how do you know them two then?
How do I know? Man, I was doing security.
Okay.
You know, during COVID.
Oh yes.
I got a little security gig there, so I was some of the family members were on the quarantine.
I remember. yes, because we stood upstairs.
Yeah.
Whilst they were downstairs.
Yeah.
And we couldn't go anywhere near them.
Yeah.
Because we had to keep that 3 feet.
Nice.
3 meters, whatever it was, in there.
But I think when you came by, it was night time.
That was it.
Yeah, it was night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now. Wow.
Yeah. So maybe you didn't see me clearly, but.
Because it was dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you did all right, yeah?
I'm doing good, man.
You had a good day?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've been hard at work, man.
Yeah?
I've been hard at work.
In this heat?
Huh?
In the heat?
Telling you.
I know.
It's too hot for me.
It's been hot the last couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been months.
Last couple of months?
Yeah, the heat wave, it never ended. When the heat wave this has started, it's still on.
Well, I read the other day that this extreme weather, as they call it, it's going to go on till the end of October at least.
Wow.
So we've got another month now. End of August. So we've got another month, 2 months to go. Yeah. So,
wow, that's a long time. I'm looking forward to December, man, when the place gets nice and cool, you know.
I'll start wishing your life away.
Yeah, man.
I know what you mean. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, last night I think it was it must have been about 30 degrees in my bedroom.
Wow, that's too hot, man.
It's too hot.
Sleeping like you.
I know.
Can't sleep in that heat.
But I'm drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
Which helps.
You have to, man.
You always drink water in this weather.
Yeah.
So anybody out there who's not drinking any water, drink plenty of water.
Yeah.
It'll cool you down. Because you're going to be sweating anyway.
Yeah.
So you need to replace all that.
Now and again, I'm so hot, I drink cold water, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cold
drink
water's
it.
good.
Yeah, it's cool. I realize when you drink it cold, you could feel the body is like cooling off a little bit. But I don't normally drink cold water, but sometimes, you know?
Well, sometimes if you're drinking it too fast, if it's like coming straight out of the fridge, it can cause a shock to your body. So sometimes you should let it get to room temperature.
Sounds good.
But I do like cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for coming in. I know you're busy, man.
Definitely, man. It's good to be here.
Oh, thank you, at last. So, tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh, my background. Most people don't know, but I actually lived in England for 4 years. And I was studying there. I did a full bachelor's degree there.
Right.
So I got a bachelor's degree with honors in business and management from a university called Birmingham City University, right in this Birmingham, second largest city in England. So I got that, and previous to that I did some work at Four Seasons, security, guest services, and I also went to CFBC College in St. Kitts. Yeah, the college down there in St. Kitts, CFBC there. And also did some work in Nevis. When I came back from studying, I worked at Nevis Pages, doing going out to taking pictures, managing the website, things like that.
Was that like a marketing company?
Yeah. Yeah, Nevis Pages. They got a website, www.nevispages.com, where they post news about Nevis, and so.
Is that anything to do with Nevis, like tourism and the economy?
Yes,
events?
yeah. Any news coming out of Nevis, they normally post it. there. And then I just got the love for media. That's when I actually got the love for media while working there. So I bought myself a camera and I trained myself like in photography. I did some videos here and there. And so everything I know about media, I trained myself just by like practicing and researching. So I'm getting better and better at it, you know.
So does that include photography, videos?
Yeah. My only issue now is that I got a good camera, but I don't have a lot of good media equipment. If I get proper media equipment, and so I could do a much better job. But
what kind of camera you got?
I got a Nikon D, forgot the D whatever, but it's a Nikon, you know, the big black cameras. Yeah.
I like the Canons. I do like the Nikon.
Yeah. I think Canon maybe do better videos. Yeah.
I like the noise that Nikon's make.
When you take the picture.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, man.
I'm an audio freak.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I got into the media thing, and I've been at it ever since. I've been into media ever since. I actually done a lot of free work, just going out to events, taking pictures, and just posting it on Facebook, and so just so people could know what's happening.
Well, that's a good way of starting a business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go out and do free stuff, right?
Definitely.
Get your name out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I've done press conferences as well, the Premier's press conference. A lot of people know me from there.
Yes, yes, that's what I reckon.
I actually started that while working at Nevis Pages, and then I just continued on and on and on until recently, because recently I got a job, so I said, man, I gotta make some money, so let me go and do this job. So I haven't been, that's why I'm not there doing the press conference.
I was just about to ask, you don't obviously don't do the press coverage at the media premiere. Is that the premiere?
No, yes.
Press conference?
I used to go there every month for about 5-6 years to ask questions. But I don't do that anymore because I'm obviously at work, you know.
So what was it like asking the premiere questions? Was he kind of responsive? Did he?
Some of them, if the questions are too hard, you know, I ask some hard questions, he would like try to debate me, try to like sometime kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Discredit. Discredit me as a journalist, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because some of my questions were harsh, and then you know he felt like he's being attacked, so he would kind of attack back, you know, that way. Yeah, so.
So when you say harsh, I mean there were real questions.
Real questions, not personal questions, but real questions about issues.
Real issues.
Yes, but I would put it over in a kind of way that people could understand. So I think that's where the impact came from. Like everybody understood exactly what I was saying, you know.
Well, from my experience listening to leaders of countries across the world, when they've been presented with hard-hitting questions and which they can't necessarily respond to in a truthful manner, they turn it back, and then you turn it back on the person asking the question. That's like it's like a preservation sort of thing.
Yeah, I've had that happen many times.
It's a case of like, who do you think you are asking me that question?
That's exactly what it is, you know.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I know how all that go.
Right. So did you leave that on your own accord? But you left because you need to get paid. Right?
Yes, because I was going in there just because I like it, and it's people enjoyed it. It was like, man, I like the questions and so. So it was just like service to country. But I wasn't being paid for it. Yeah, but at that time I was like trying to do my own thing with the media business, so I had a lot of free time. So
when you were doing that, did you get any other journalists from, say, The Observer or any of the other radio stations there asking?
Yes, you had people there. You had Observer there, some people from Sinkits, maybe Win FM, SKN Newsline, Nevis, Von Radio. I think that's about it, you know. So I had a few journalists there, but asking questions every month. But sometimes only 1 or 2 people come, you know. But I was there every time. Yeah, but sometimes like maybe some of them wouldn't come.
So within that arena, is it can anybody go along and ask questions, or do you need to be invited along?
I think you could go and ask questions, because while I was there, somebody, a regular citizen, came and he asked a question. Yeah. So I think people may be afraid because they say, oh, they wasn't invited, or they're not a full-time journalist, or they wasn't trained in journalism or whatever. But I think anybody could go there and ask a question. Like, for example, 2020 Vision Radio. You could go there and say you're representing 2020 Vision Radio and give your name and ask the questions, because they're going to ask, what's your media house you're representing? You could say 2020 Vision Radio. My name is T. Liebert, and I'm asking questions in relation to matters of national interest. That would be it. They would allow you, because I think they're looking for people to be brave enough to come forward to ask questions.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be brave.
Huh?
You have to be brave. Or do you have to be a concerned citizen?
You have to be concerned, and then you have to have a little bravery, because it's not easy going on live television and radio at the same time to ask a premier, a leader of a country questions. So you have to, think about it and make up your mind to just go and do it.
Well, I've had training with the BBC when I lived in the UK, and I've been doing radio broadcasting since 2008. I'm very adept at asking people questions.
You see?
In a comfortable, kind of competitive or non-confrontational kind of way. So my question will be about the interests of the community.
Yeah.
And as a citizen, I would expect an informed response to be given. So when do these when do these press conferences take place?
Once per month. Normally at the ending part of the month. You just got to pay attention to government media, and they would say, they would release a statement to say press conferences next week or whatever. But I think you have more experience than me. When I actually went the first time, I was kind of scared, because I never done anything like that. I never worked in live radio or television or nothing like that. But I just forced myself, and I just went and did it.
What's the best way of learning it?
Yeah.
You've got to come out, you step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, so I was, when I started, I was actually had paper and reading from the paper, questions from paper and so, until I get the use of it, and then I just enjoyed it, you know.
So would you say you had a good relationship with the Premier?
Good relationship in terms of
from a journalistic perspective?
Well, I think he appreciated someone coming there to ask questions. But in terms of relationship, we would say when I go in there and so on, if I see him, I would greet him and so on. He would greet me and so on. But in terms of sitting down to talk or anything like that, no. I never really had that type of relationship. You know.
More business rather than personal.
I remember when I first came back from university, I had a little breakfast meeting with him at Cafe de Arts. That's how I met Rob and Liz there at Cafe de Arts, and I actually was asking him for a job, you know, and I'm still waiting.
Oh, brother.
So I really was desperate at one point for a job, so I spoke to, I think it was Mervyn Hanley. You know Mervyn Hanley. Mervyn Hanley was close with the government at that time, so he put in a word for me and he hooked up that meeting. You know, so I went there and I was asking him for this job, and I really need some help. I'm back from university, I'm at home and I'm unemployed. I really need something, you know. I have a lot of skills and so, and nothing ever came of it, you know, so
we'll talk about our own personal experiences of the last
Definitely.
For work, because I've been in a similar situation.
Yes.
But I'm not going to speak about it live on on radio because
Yes.
some people might take it the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do now? What do you do now for a living? I mean, you
I
mentioned photography. And stuff.
Yeah, I work at Ram's
Okay.
supermarket.
Yeah.
I am a dispatcher at Ram's supermarket.
Mm.
I work to the back.
Right.
Responsible for some of the goods leaving the supermarket. Yeah, so I deal with like invoicing and packing up food and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work,
Okay.
but I like it, you know.
But for someone like you who went to university,
Yeah.
and studied and obtained your degree,
Yes.
I mean, getting a degree and working in, no disrespect to Rams, I mean,
Yeah.
Does all that time you spend studying at university, I mean, does it kind of equate to actually the job you're doing at the moment? Did you ever see yourself working?
No, I never seen myself doing that. Actually, if I knew that I would be here in this position I'm in now, I would not have moved back to Nevis. I would have stayed maybe in England and try to do something up there. But I moved back to Nevis because I had high hopes that the country is developing and there's a need for persons who are qualified to contribute to society.
Yeah.
So I actually came back with the intention to assist developing the country, and in order to do that you have to be, I view it like you have to be working for government, because if you're a private citizen you won't be able to make much impact.
Right, I mean, as a sole trader, as a
Yes.
self-employed.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to work for government so I could make an impact, like in contributing to the development of the country. That's why I was trying to get a job there.
So did you have to finance yourself when you went to university in the UK, or did you?
Yeah, I had to finance myself. I got some because at the time the NRP government was in power. They were giving like some grants for students going off, like one-time payments for students going off to assist with the living expenses and so on at university. So I got a little help from that end, but I had to finance myself for the most part of it, and it wasn't cheap. Yeah, I had to work. I was working part-time in the UK. I was a bouncer, what they call a door supervisor. Yeah, man. I did a little course because my cousin owned a security company up there. So I did a little course, and I got a job with this company. So I was working at a bar, like every Friday and Saturday night.
Can you remember the name of the bar? I've been to Birmingham a few
Pitcher and Piano. It's on Broad Street.
Yes, I know. Yes.
You know that bar?
I think so. I mean, Broad Street. Broad Street's quite. That's quite like the entertainment.
Yes,
kind of
it's
centre of
all clubs there.
Yeah, I've been
on Broad Street.
When was that then?
When was that? That was between 2009 to 2013. Anywhere between there.
I'm just trying to think. Last time I went to Birmingham, it must have been about that time.
Yeah.
I might have seen you on the door.
Really? Could be, you know.
Yeah.
Could be.
Because anytime I went to Birmingham, I went down Broad Street. That's when it was all happening.
Definitely, man. Yeah.
Not too, just around the corner from the NEC.
Yeah. You know where the canal is? There's a canal.
Yeah.
You know where there's a club, like a 80s, always playing 80s music and 70s and 80s music.
It's near the ballroom. No, it's not too far from the ballroom.
No, it's on Broad Street, like coming on to the end of it.
I think I know what you mean.
You know, club near Rococo.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's where the bar is on the next side of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did Birmingham compare to Nevis? I mean, Birmingham's like the second largest city in England. Or in the UK.
Birmingham, man, that's an interesting question, because when I went to England, I was of the impression that we had a British system.
Yeah.
But when I got there now in England, man, it was a totally different world.
In what way?
It was, the culture was different. Everything was well organized, modern, up to date. The people spoke freely, speak their mind freely. Nobody is like afraid to, like, if something is bothering them, they would say it straight up. They would just tell you. People more outspoken there. And to me, I find that I said to myself, this is different to Nevis.
So you don't think people on Nevis are quite as outspoken as people in the UK?
No, far from it.
Well, why do you think that is?
I think fear is like, because this is a small community, so everybody know everybody, and people are afraid to speak their mind because of pressure, coming from family members, this maybe a pastor, maybe a government minister, and Birmingham and England is a big place. You could go in the city naked and then 15 minutes after you go back the same spot wearing clothes. Nobody would even know. It was you.
All right.
So it's like, it's so many people and it's big, so you feel more free. I guess it's that, I don't know. And maybe, remember here you had slavery.
Yes, that's true. I mean, so from your experience, do you think there's people here on Nevis that are a lot more suppressed?
Yes.
They don't have that same element of freedom as they do in other parts of the world?
No, I think they're suppressed. They don't feel comfortable speaking their mind. For some reason, they don't feel like they're allowed to speak their mind.
That's interesting.
It's like people being trained to just sit down, stay quiet, follow instructions. So most people, they go to work, they sit down, they wait until their boss tell them to do something, and then they just live their life not speaking much, speaking, letting people know how they feel much.
So there's not a lot of open-mindedness there then? Everyone's kind of contained within a box and follow instructions?
Yes, everybody is like, and it's secretive as well. People don't feel like they could be open with you. It's unless when they get to know you. Once people get to know you here, they have to get to know you really well in order to open up.
Well, to some extent, I can understand that, because I can remember as a child, my parents used to say, "Don't speak to strangers." And I guess the reason for that was they were afraid that these strange people, would take you away, kidnap you, and hold you to ransom, and you never see them again.
You're right.
Yeah, and I mean, do you think that's the same sort of scenario down here on Nevis? If you talk to someone's going to take you away?
No, I don't think that people are fearful of being kidnapped or anything like that. But I think they're fearful of reputation, like. A lot of people have to like pretend to be something they're not. You can't. They're not. I don't think they're feeling free that they could be themselves. They have to fit in, whether they're a doctor, lawyer. They have to fit into that group.
So for me, there's a bit of a silo mentality. You know about silos? Silos are those big things where you keep grain and wheat and all that kind of stuff, and you put things in there.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of more or less the same.
Yes.
So everybody starts thinking the same.
Yes.
And if that's a culture here, then it kind of carries on from generation to generation. I mean, you mentioned there about the enslavement period.
Yes.
Me personally, I don't think that's something that as black people actually address. We don't normally talk about that and the emotional impact enslavement has on us as people, because we're relatively new country.
Yeah.
I mean, enslavement being going on since the 16th, 17th century, and it only kind of ended in the 18th century. But for me, I don't think it's ended at all.
Wow.
There's still some elements of enslavement happening in society.
That's the culture is still there, because our culture that we have here today, it's a mixture of a slave culture, slavery, British, a little African in there, and Caribbean, and maybe French or something. It's a mixture of all of that. But I think the slavery culture, because remember, for 300-400 years, there were actually enslaved Africans on this island.
Sure.
So over time, they would have been groomed into acting a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't think they were allowed to speak much.
Yeah.
They were allowed to work. Go and keep quiet and work.
Yeah,
so you see that same thing is continuing. You could match it.
Sure.
You know, it connects.
And are these the sort of things you talk about on your YouTube channel? Because you're a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I channel. The name is Bjorn, my name, Love Africa with a K.
Okay.
And I actually got inspired to start that channel because there's a lot of young Africans in Africa going around to the various cities and villages and doing YouTube. And I started to watch a few of them and I was like, what? This is so original and authentic. They just grab their phone and record and talk what they see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could do this.
Okay.
And that's how I really got into it.
So how long you been doing that now?
I've been doing it now for 3 years, just over 3 years.
Okay.
And just a few months ago, I just made 1,000 subscribers.
Good job.
Yeah, after 3 years.
Okay.
But that's because the population here is so small. And all my videos are like in Nevis. Like I would go around to different areas and I would just vlog like what I see.
Okay.
And I got about maybe close to 200 videos on there. Just little videos of all types of things.
And how long are the videos?
The videos varies. Some are 30 minutes long, some are 10 minutes long, some are 12 minutes, 6 minutes. So it depending on the feeling that I get. But
what sort of topics do you cover? I mean, I know you say you go around Nevis, but are there any particular topics that you
I try to cover more from an African perspective. Like for someone who maybe live abroad, whether in Africa or America or Europe, and they look at my channel, they would kind of understand what Nevis is about just by looking at the video of me going around and me speaking. They would get an idea of how it's like, because there's not many videos out there about Nevis. You see the fancy videos with tour on the beach with Four Seasons and wealthy people on the beach sipping cocktails, but you don't really see videos of people going through villages.
There's not a true representation of what goes on in Nevis, right?
No, so for someone overseas looking at a video of some wealthy people on the beach staying at a luxury hotel, that's not Nevis. That's just a small side of Nevis. So I think the rural culture is nobody know about it. People in the outside world don't know.
Well, it's a relatively small country.
Yeah.
It's the smallest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Definitely.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
So your videos are more aimed at people who are more on a level, as I would say, rather than the ones who got lots of wealth and want to come here for a holiday. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. My videos are more for someone who, because there's a lot of travelers, a lot of people travel to different countries and they stay at like guest houses and Airbnb. They don't have a lot of money, but they have enough money they could travel.
Sure.
And maybe if they see like Nevis in that view, they would be like, what? They're black? I didn't know there are black people living here. This is the place I could go and hang out. And I think Nevis need to tap into that market. Like you need a wider market. It
sounds like you're doing a lot for the tourism industry as well.
Yeah, so all of that is helping because my videos are positive. Like it's never anything negative going around because I could do a lot of negative videos. I got the skills to do that, but I try to make it authentic in a positive way to make so people could know the real Nevis,
So where would you say most of your subscribers came from? Are they within Nevis or
no?
In Africa?
Yeah,
Most
my subs. If I have 1,000 subscribers, about maybe 800 are from Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of subscribers because they're more into YouTube there, and the population is of over 1 billion people in Africa.
Sure.
Yeah, so they're definitely into YouTube. I could see the interaction, like when a young person, let's say somebody who don't know about YouTube, start a channel today, and you see they're in, let's say, Kenya, and you see they have 5 subscribers. The next day you go back and look at their channel, you see 50, then you see 100, then you see 500. They're growing rapidly because the population is large there, and people are more interactive on YouTube there. Here is more Facebook. People are more into Facebook. Yeah, but YouTube is like ordinary people with a phone.
It's more accessible.
Yes, would just do YouTube videos. It's not, they don't have to do any fancy video. They just grab their phone and just walk through the village and do a video.
So what was the main thing that inspired you to get into YouTube?
YouTube, you could make money from YouTube, you know. You could you could monetize your YouTube channel after it reach a certain size, and you could make income from YouTube based on ads. Like YouTube would pay you to run ads on there. On your channel. You could make money from the views as well. People could donate to your YouTube channel. There's lots of ways to make money from it, and I know I follow a lot of young Africans, and when they tell me, some of them are telling me they're making like $5,000 a month from YouTube, 2,000, 10,000 US dollars a month. And I'm like, what? They make this type of money from YouTube?
And they're just talking about everyday experiences where they live.
Yeah, they're just going around like, like they would take a video. I'm here having breakfast, and I'm gonna go downtown in a while. They go down to the market. You see the ladies at the market selling food. Oh, here's a lady at the market selling food. And what should I buy today? Should I buy apples? And just, it's like they're just real life, but they're just recording it.
Yeah, so they're just telling the story about it.
Yes.
So anybody could do that, really.
Anybody could do it.
Smartphone, iPhone, whatever.
Yeah. People in Nevis could do that easily. Everybody. I see people. I see teenagers here with better phones than me. They could open up a YouTube channel and they could vlog about their life
rather than just watching TikTok all day.
Exactly. And then in the future they could make an income from YouTube if they tap into like people from overseas start watching their channel, and they start to get a lot of traction. They could make money from it. So that is something Nevis could look into.
You ever thought about being a YouTube trainer? A YouTube developer for young people, where people can actually come along and you can teach them how to do all this?
Yeah, I'm still learning myself, but I've learned a lot, and I could actually teach them the basics that would get them started and so on.
Well, now we've mentioned it, you better get out there quick, because anyone else who's listening to this show, they'll probably tease the idea. Man.
Yeah, man, YouTube is one thing with YouTube. Once you start making money from it, let's say you do a video today, you could be making money 10 years from now from that same video.
Right.
Because it's still there on the channel, and it's getting views all the time.
So it's like having a record, and they're making the record, and the record still gets played. So you get, it's like royalties, right?
Yes.
Right,
Yes, so it's income coming in. It could be the videos, as long as your channel is there, it could be there for 20 years.
Sure.
And you could make continuous money from it. I'm not there yet, but I have that vision.
Well, it's not, you've got a vision.
Yeah,
so you're making
for the
a good
future.
Start anyway. So starting is always good, and once you've got a vision in place, you can always work towards that.
Definitely. And one of the things that I know for sure I could do very well in it, because I'm here in Nevis. I'm like doing YouTube videos and so, and it's me alone. I don't have any friends going out with that we could help each other.
Sure.
Like when I look at the Africans in Africa, it's like 5 of them going out together, and they have their own YouTube channels, and they're collaborating and helping each other. It's a lot of them, and they're
Well, I guess in a way,
feeding off of each other.
Yeah, that will break down the element of people not trusting each other.
Yeah.
Right? So once you get to know each other and collaborate with each other, you get the friendships going, you start talking.
Definitely.
Before you know it, things will start taking off.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, because I got a lot of ideas, and so it's just to the platform, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
Well, that's what you need. You need a platform.
Yeah.
And then and that allows you to empower yourself. And once you get that experience, you can start empowering other people.
Definitely.
To make them realise what their potential, what they could potentially earn from a monetary perspective as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, because it's real, because I know YouTubers in Africa again, like they said they've been homeless, no money at all, like 2 years ago, and now they're making like $4,000 or $5,000 a month from YouTube, just because of the population there and the interaction that they get on the channel. And I'm seeing them building homes. They're showing videos of them building homes, buying land, because land over there is very cheap in Africa. It's very, very cheap. And to build a home is not, see, like people build homes cash, because it's not the material and everything is not expensive. So I'm amazed, like I'm saying, what? How could you be homeless 2 years ago and now you're making this money, but you're able to buy land with that income? You're able to build this nice house with that income. People here, I'm thinking people here in St. Kitts Nevis working for 20 years. And they're paying a mortgage, or they don't have any land or anything like that. And so it seems like the system here is tough as well. While over there, land is cheap. Homes, it don't seem like people get loans to build homes there. So it seems like the cost of living there in Africa is much, much lower. So imagine they're getting paid from YouTube in US dollars. That's why it's going that far, because of the cost of living and the currency.
I mean, whilst you're speaking, all I can think about is the how that young people could contribute more to the economy. They're earning much more money.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do things like buy homes. I mean, they're contributing to the construction industry. They're contributing to the retail industry.
Yeah.
They're contributing to everything that exists.
Definitely.
So it looks like YouTube is like the way forward for a lot of young people who may not have any vision or future about living on a small island like this. But if you want to go work, not everybody can work for the government. Not everybody wants to work in construction. Not everybody wants to be a landscaper. Not everybody wants to work in the tourism industry, right? Not everybody wants to open up a restaurant and sell food. Yeah, so that's another option.
Yeah, definitely. Because imagine some content creators, YouTubers, or internet people from St. Kitts and Nevis meet up with some talented people from Africa and they collaborate.
Yes.
Then what will happen is that even though our population is small here, once you collaborate with people over there, they would be like, Nevis, what's that answer?
Well,
so you would build.
You're increasing the population,
Yeah.
You're increasing it virtually, aren't
you? Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need to have like that face-to-face interaction.
Definitely.
You can do it all online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to find you. Once they find you.
Simple.
Yeah. And that's the issue we have here, because the internet is like, they go by IP address.
Right.
Let's say the IP address for St. Kitts Nevis is like a code.
Yeah.
When you log onto the internet, you're locked into the IP address here in St. Kitts Nevis. So people overseas won't really get to connect with you that easily, because it's like different groups. But if you like go to New York, the IP address there, which is the internet, you log on to your same website. People from New York is gonna see you because you're locked into their IP address now. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So because everything's done by, it's kind of like AI as well.
Yes.
What do you call it? Like logarithms and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So, so you can extend that to parts of America as well, because there's a large population of people of African descent who may have originated in the Caribbean as well, who may need to be reminded of what's happening in the Caribbean, especially in Nevis.
Definitely.
Yeah. So all that information can be out there, put out there on platforms like YouTube.
Yeah.
And they can access it.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yep. Because a lot of people out there overseas, they only know about Jamaica, Barbados, and like Trinidad, the bigger islands. They don't know that their African descendants, like people of African ethnicity, are living here.
Right.
Black people, they don't know that black people are actually living here in these islands. A lot of people don't know. They don't even know we exist, because if you go on the map, you have to zoom in the world map. You have to zoom in
like a little dot in the
to see it's Nevis. It doesn't appear. If you see the map there, you won't see it. So a lot of people don't know we're here. So once they get to find us, they're gonna want to know more about us.
Of course,
yeah. The trick is to find us. You know, we're here, hidden in the Caribbean on a small island. Nobody know we're here.
I see that personally, because I do some work in the tourism industry myself, and I help provide a certain amount of customer service to people from America who come to Nevis, and they're very interested to know about the history of the Caribbean, because they see links, because they notice that they have family who may have originated here as well. So they're always intrigued and interested to find out more. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. We just need to connect to the world.
Definitely.
Yeah, we need to connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the future is in technology and IT.
Yeah.
The internet is gonna get better.
Of course.
Yeah, the jobs, what do you call it, brick and mortar jobs.
They're gonna go.
Yeah, there's not many of them gonna be there. Everything is gonna be online.
Yeah.
So we just need to tap into the online. Most people already know how to use the internet. They just need ideas and opportunities.
And a lot of technology nowadays is geared towards young people anyway.
Yeah. So people could be here right in Nevis, and they're getting a world audience. Yeah. Because people are gonna, once they find us, once they know we're here, they're gonna continue watching.
Okay. So how old do you need to be able to have a YouTube channel?
You need to be, that's a good question, I would say 18. Okay. I would say 18. Well, that's a good question. I'm not positive, but I would say 18.
So I guess if you're applying for a particular channel, you need to put certain details in there, personal details, and
yes.
they may ask you for things like how old you are.
No, that you put it that way. I don't think there's an age,
No?
No, because when you sign up for YouTube, it's like opening a Facebook account. When you open the account, there's not a section. I don't think there's a section that asks for your age. Yeah, I can't recall there's a section. So if you're 15, 16 years old, I think you could open a YouTube account. I think they're gonna ask for your. Most people already have an account, because if you have a Google account, like you when you go on Google search, you will see your account information. Or if you go on YouTube, you will see like you have a name. If you're commenting on videos and stuff, or viewing YouTube, you already have an account, so you just need to open a channel and post videos.
So again, all you need is a smartphone.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a laptop or anything like that.
A laptop would be good, but a smartphone would do the job. A smartphone would do it. Yeah.
So from your interactions with people in countries in Africa, I mean, from the responses you get from them about where they live, and what do you think are the main challenges for people of African descent facing today's society?
The main problem is what I see, I hear from a lot of Africans, on YouTube and so on. It's like discrimination. It's like it's very difficult for them to get a visa to go to Europe or to travel. It's like once they see they have an African passport, even if they have money, for some reason they're discriminated against. That's one of the challenges there. And poverty as well. The jobs, there's not many jobs there because the population there is growing rapidly. So there are not many jobs there. That's why most people go into like online businesses and so there. Other challenges. There's a lot of challenges here as well. In the Caribbean and in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have the same jobs challenge. A lot of people searching for jobs. We have a development issue as well in terms of modernizing the infrastructure for development. And I think we're struggling with the culture as well. Remember, there was slavery here for like 300-400 years. So some of that culture is still with us. So most people, a lot of people, they don't have a positive view about themselves because of how the society and the training they get, and so they're not told that they could be great, So the confidence and so is a lot of people don't have that because of the type of culture we live in.
I mean, from my experience, that's one of the biggest elephants. That is the elephant in.
Yes.
We as people of African descent, we don't talk about the enslavement period, and we don't talk about the emotional impact it has on society today for a lot of black people. We seem to focus on things like we need to get reparations. We need to get payment for the way our forebears were treated. I mean, for me, that's not going to happen, because for a lot of countries who were involved in enslaving people, they're not going to give money. They're not going to, because it's almost like them admitting that they did something wrong. For me, it was part of the system that existed in those times. It was about economy. It was about business, right? And we had people, our own people, selling our to the enslaved owners, as a business proposition. So today, it should be more about looking at ways of how we can address those issues and kind of look at other areas where we can help to improve ourselves on an emotional sort of level as well. Because there are still things, like you pointed out, within our society, mistrust.
Yes, definitely.
Lack of
trust is not there.
It's a big thing.
It's not there now.
And we tend to, there's a lot of infighting as well within our community.
Yes.
Especially on this small island as well. There's a lot of infighting.
Yeah, you know what it is? Is there's a lot of different churches here. A lot of different, what they call them, denominations. And then you have the politics as well. So, for such a small place, all of that, and then the culture, the culture that has to do with slavery. I don't think the slave masters wanted the slaves to get along.
No.
I think if groups of people don't like each other, it will be better.
Of course.
Exactly. So that continue.
Unity is strength.
Exactly.
Once you start dividing people, you kind of lessen the way that they can fight against things in society.
So I think all of that continue. Most of that continue, and because, as you said earlier, nobody is looking at the impact of slavery, the emotional impact of it on the culture and everything. Nobody is looking at that. We're just trying to get forward. You have to know what were the effects of it first before you could fix it. And then once you know the effects, you could say, that's why people are afraid to speak, because I guess during slavery, the slave master didn't want the slaves in the field speaking. They wanted them to be quiet and work. So when people tell you shut up and work, now sit down and be quiet, they just continuing that same thing.
Mm.
What happened during slavery and not even knowing it.
Mm.
They don't even know what they're doing, but that's what it is.
Well, I totally hear you. I totally hear you on that one. I totally hear you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because when you go to, you know how I know that for sure?
Mm.
You live in England
Yeah.
most of your life.
Yeah.
I spent time there as well. They didn't have slavery in England.
Not to the same extent that they had in the Caribbean and America. Yes, no.
And you could see the difference, right?
Yeah.
In the way how people behave. You could see the difference in places that had slavery and places that didn't have it.
Well, I guess in a way, I mean, during the Windrush, when the Windrush experience happened back in the late 40s and 50s, I mean, people from the Commonwealth were invited over to the UK to come and work because there was an excess of jobs over there.
Yeah.
So they invited people from the Commonwealth, the Caribbean countries, to go to the UK to work over there. And they were being paid a substandard wages as well. So it was a case of, in some ways, it still smacked of enslavement in some ways. Because people coming over being paid less than the indigenous, for want of a better word, population of the UK. So there was some elements of slavery going on, I believe. Yeah. And so the whole thing's just been continued.
Yeah.
Although they're born in the Caribbean, they've gone over to the UK thinking all the streets are paved with gold and earn lots of money. I suspect, well, not in my parents' case, because when they used to earn, they used to send money back to the Caribbean, and they used, in some ways, they used to shore up the economy in Nevis when they used to send money back in the 60s, and the 70s. So, it's an interesting conversation, and we don't really have those sorts of conversations.
No,
yeah.
Oh man, I learned a lot from, because when I was up there, I stayed with my aunt. She's in her 80s now, for a couple of months, and she told me she left Nevis in the 50s. She was actually doing very well in school and so, and she left Nevis because they were promised, like, they thought they were going home. Like England told them they need them and they love them, come home to Mother England. So they thought they were gonna be treated like a family when they go to England, and they were shocked when they got there and they saw signs, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs on the walls and so on. But it was too late that time. They had no money to get back, so they just had to stay in poor conditions. And she said a lot of the Arabs and Black West Indian had to move in together and so, and like that's how they kind of made it through. But she said it was rough. She was a teacher. She told me she was a teacher there in at a school there, and some of the teachers asked her if she was a cleaner. She was like, they couldn't believe a black person would be a teacher there in England at that time, because she said she was very bright. She actually taught, she told me, the late Joycelyn Liebert. She said she taught Joycelyn Liebert at school. Okay. Yeah, and before Joycelyn Liebert died, I told her I told her about my aunt, Marjorie Hughes. Her name was Marjorie Doe at that time, and she remembered. She said, "Oh yes, she remember her," and so. So yeah, but a lot of very intelligent people left Nevis to go to England, and some of them never came back. Because she came back once in the 80s, but because of her knee and health issues, it's to travel that distance now. It's not easy.
So I guess the UK, that was her home then, isn't it?
Yes.
She was born here in Nevis.
Yes.
She saw it as a home.
She's at home in England now. Yeah.
Because I've got brothers and sisters who were born in Nevis.
Yeah.
And they went over to the UK in the 60s.
Definitely.
And they've never come back. They've come back for holidays. But they've never come back to Nevis, even though they've said they're going to come back because it's their home. But I guess in some ways, on an emotional level, they kind of still remember all the hardship they had to go through.
Yes, they remember. Yeah, and it's not encouraging to to leave England. They're thinking, most of them thinking it's gonna be like the same thing. Yeah. And I guess they follow to see what's happening now, like the health care, and so they know they have to pay for health care down here. In England, it's free. Free, of course. Health care is free. While up there, I saw doctors and so for free. Yeah, because I had this NHS card. So yeah, it's a different world.
I mean, one thing that always springs to mind for me, I mean, like you said, I was born in the UK and I've been down here for like 3 or 4 years now. Nobody's ever asked me, come up to me and asked me, so what's it like living in the UK as a black person?
Nobody ever asked you that?
Nobody's ever asked me, Nevis, what's it like?
Wow.
Not one.
So I'm gonna ask you now, what's it like? I think I have an idea, but
I mean, 57 years I lived there, So in a way you kind of get used to it. But I mean, the level of discrimination you experience from certain people in certain parts of the country, from the certain police services up and down the country, London, Leicester, up in West Yorkshire where I used to live. And I guess that goes back to when the first people from the Caribbean, as part of the Windrush generation, went over to the 50s. They were never given any education about black people. All of a sudden, they just saw an influx of people, different colour skin, coming into their country, and they probably thought, what are you doing there? You're taking over our jobs, our houses, our women, that kind of thing, And that's been going on for generation after generation after generation. So I kind of got used to that. But for me, it was the case, I had to kind of live 2 lives. The life as a black man, and a life as a white person as well, because to be able to get on, you have to kind of be like a white person. You have to be like a black person living a white person's life. But like I said, I got used to it. But now coming to Nevis, I don't have to navigate those kind of issues. But there's other issues going on underneath all that, which can also be a little bit disturbing. So
see what you mean. And I guess it was kind of different for you because when I went there in like 10 years ago, you know, a lot of Africans live in England now. So I had a lot of African friends. So too, and I was in an area where there was a lot of Caribbean black people living. So I didn't have much interaction with too many of the native white people there. I had some at university and so on, the place I worked at and so. But it was mixed, really mixed, you know. So I guess back when you was growing up and so, maybe it was different.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was like it was only a handful of you guys there. You see?
I lived in areas of the country where there's only 1% black people.
You see? You see, that's,
So, but, you know, you just
so you gotta blend in.
Of course.
You gotta blend in.
Blend in, but I don't blend in. Because the minute I walk down the street,
they know you can't hide. They're gonna ask. They're gonna think you just came in from somewhere
like that,
when you were born there, you know.
And I've had similar situations. I've been in high senior level positions, and people look to me as though I'm like the cleaner.
Wow.
So I know exactly what your artist is talking about.
Wow.
So, anyways, we've come to the end of the show. It's been great talking with you. Thank you for coming in. We meet at last again.
Definitely. It's been great. It's been.
I forgot that we met during COVID. So it's good to connect again. So thank you for that.
Definitely.
You have a safe journey home.
Definitely, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in, Bjorn.
I've had a good time here.
It's been a very good experience, right? So thank you very much.
I would encourage everyone to watch this show, man. It's a great show.
Oh, thank you very much.
So much love to you, man.
Okay.
Definitely.
Take care,
Bye-bye.